All right, Harry. Did you memorize exactly what I told you we're doing here?
Yeah, you memorized exactly how I should act.
That's not at all
Or
what we're
you
doing.
told me I. Fuck. Oh shit.
No, we're doing a quick movie review as suggested by someone that I don't remember who said it, but someone said, "Hey, Dottie, you watch a lot of movies. You know a lot about actors and movies." I
Seth.
I think it was Seth. And then I was like, and he's like, "You should do movie reviews." And I was like, "Yeah, it could be fun." And then Harry popped in randomly. I asked him if he liked FNAF, and he gave me his answer, and I wasn't expecting his answer, and I thought he should join me for this.
I'm Harrison.
No, don't give
Hi,
him your
my name's
full
Aries
name.
Harry, and I didn't like Barbarian. I didn't.
No, we're not. Okay, for one, Barbarian's fucking sick, and we're not talking about Barbarian. We're not doing that right now. So let's get down to it. You are a lifelong FNAF fan, correct?
Lifelong. Yep.
I mean, he loves it. I am not. I played the first one.
I got the proof.
He's got the proof in the pudding. I played the first one, liked it, didn't think it needed a sequel. I was wrong.
And I've watched all the MatPat videos, so I pretty much know everything.
You've watched every single food theory, movie theory, and game theory.
Look, just the ones about FNAF are the
Oh,
important ones for this convo.
okay. Well, I will say that kick off there. He is the spoilers, by the way, obviously. Matt Pat, we can agree, best part of the movie.
Mm-hmm. 10 out of 10 right there. MatPat cameo.
I mean, I did learn today. Somebody mentioned he does have a theater background. I did not know that, but his acting was. It was there was like five good actors in the whole movie, and he was one of them. And he's in it. They honestly could have used him for a lot of the movie, and had a better
He killed it.
film. Yeah, they would have had a better film. His scene alone had me. I jumped off the couch, and Marissa doesn't watch Matt Pat. I jumped off the couch. And I'm like, oh my god, it's fucking Matt Pat. Like I fucking everyone loves this guy. I told her I was like, everyone loves him. He's kind of impossible to hate.
I went to go see the movie at the theaters, and like our theater erupted. You know, it was like almost like Endgame when like Captain America picked up Thor's hammer. Like everyone got that excited just to see Matt Pat. It was really insane. Spoilers for Endgame, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. What the hell, man? What did you think of the Corey X Kenshin cameo?
I didn't watch him, so I wasn't like myself really moved by it or excited, but I was excited for other people to see, like, if I saw a YouTuber that I'm a really big fan of in this movie, then that would have been exciting for me. So
That's fair.
I
I
get
didn't
the
really.
hype around it.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it like that, but I should have, considering how much I got excited for Matt Pat. I just thought they may have given him too much, and it felt a little tacked on and forced and cheesy. Whereas in Matt Pat comes in from the side out of nowhere, and he's like, "Hey, I got some food. Yeah, I got your food for you. What do you want or whatever?" And it just worked because it felt natural. He really, Corey really felt kind of
They
shoehorned in,
and I mean they even worked in that's just a theory line, which was just golden. That
and it
sealed the
wasn't.
cake for me.
It was the right level of
No,
cheese.
it fit in well.
Obviously, I'm not gonna say the biggest sin the movie commits, but one of the worst parts, if not the worst part of the entire run, is the dialogue. Probably the worst writing I've ever seen in like a movie this hyped. I mean, it was bad.
I've watched porn movies with better writing than this, Scotty. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I've seen the porn you watch, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, you shoot it all yourself,
Good
so
stuff.
it is
Good
kind of
stuff.
weird for you to like grab that and go with that.
You don't watch your own YouTube videos back? Same thing, Dot.
Yeah, but I
But
don't jerk
back
off to it.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
But I think that forced a lot of the actors to feel really wooden, stiff, unbelievable, almost bored that they were doing. Like Vanessa was bored. Like you could tell she did not care about the script at all, and she had some of the most
Yeah.
egregious takes a human being could have on the screen. When she said to Josh, she said, "If you bring Abby back here again, I will fucking shoot you." I died. That's the funniest fucking thing. A cop in 2023 being like, "I'm gonna blast you, dude," is like not a joke. It's so fucking random. I don't think that would ever be like
Out
a.
of nowhere.
No cop would ever say that. No human would be like, "I'm gonna fucking shoot you." Like,
She's like, since I care about you and your sister, I'm gonna kill you if you put your sister in danger. Like legit. Like it was a legit threat though. It wasn't like a friendly, hey, I'm gonna push you off a cliff. No, I'm gonna fucking shoot you. I have a gun on my fucking belt right now. I will. I'll do it. Don't test me, Josh.
but that's the thing. All they had to say, because like a normal person would say, "Dude, if you do that again, I'll fucking kill you." Like that's it. That's it. To get specific and say fucking shoot you is so random and goofy. Did you feel like disturbed and just like kind of set back when they're at the river? For one, Josh brings his bottle of pills and Vanessa to the river, and then they have this whole talk, and he even mentions how cheesy the script is in the talk. He says, my family would do like, they'd sit around the table and do grace. And he's like, I know it sounds cheesy. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're 45 minutes in. Every single thing has been cheesy. Like, do not point it out. It's just dumb. And then she says, bro, you got to stop taking these pills, and takes his prescription pills, his fucking very clearly doctor written pills, and it chucks him in the water. Something he needs. She's a cop. She's a civil servant who's like, yeah, you don't fucking need them.
She's a good friend. She's trying to help Josh out. You don't need these to help you sleep. Fuck that. Fuck yourself.
I mean, with the healthcare in this country, she's just like, hey, there goes $300. Like, what?
What? You're living paycheck to paycheck?
Dude, he is. I didn't even think about it. He's literally living in a house he can't afford, losing every job he can get, which, by the way, he's a snarling beast right off the rip. I mean, they literally had him beat up some innocent man, and the whole time you're watching him chase this man, you're like, you don't know who that kid is. That kid didn't say anything was wrong. The kid didn't say, help me, there's a stranger. He just looked like he's just being a shithead to this guy. Like, it was like,
hey, beat the shit out of the guy now, ask questions later. Come on, dude.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, he didn't get any prison time when you really expected to.
Which, I know, right? He just like went, oh, I got fired.
Yeah, he's just like,
like fucking assault. When we were talking about the money of Josh living paycheck to paycheck, that reminded me about the absurdity of the aunt's plot. Her character arc was she wanted the daughter to earn that child money, the child support money, which isn't a big check, you know. Anyone knows.
I know.
You don't get much money for child support.
What did she expect was gonna happen? Like, and she's like walking around in like nicer clothes, acting like she's better than everyone else. Where did you get that money? And who the fuck was Max? Who is Max? They never actually say Max is my friend. She's a neighbor. She's a cousin. She's a sister.
And the aunt actually considered killing Josh to get this child that she only wants the child support money for. Like, she genuinely considered it. Which, that's what the whole Matt Pat scene was about, which you might have gotten distracted with how charming Matthew Patrick was, but that's what the scene was about. They're considering killing Josh for the child support check, which is fucking insane. That's bonkers.
Yeah, and then the whole like take with they almost rounded out because the kid Abby seems like she definitely has like autism or something. I mean, she shows her obsession with art and drawing and how important it is to her. And then they bring in that teacher who you just expect for Josh to call on again, and like, because she is like a support for him at the beginning. She's nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like, she never comes up again. She's the one good role model in the whole movie. They just threw the character out. It's so confusing why she was even there. And the kills, they were garbage. Very basic. I think like Goosebumps and like Stories to Tell in the Dark and stuff like that, or Scary, whatever that Netflix one was.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Like, they showed us that like,
one had better kills
and better acting. I mean, it had better everything. I think it was GDT. Yeah. It was Guillermo del Toro. We're not talking about that.
Today,
but I'm just saying, like, that showed the kills. The only kill it showed was that girl being cut in half, and then like, that's it. Max, and she was
the blood on the wall.
Yeah, and that was all just stupid. Oh wait. The best part of the movie was the lawyer Doug was legitimately hilarious. Homie's sitting there like a turtle, just like every scene, just like eyeballs darting back and forth, like, am I a part of this? Like, dude, he was hilarious. He looked like they took him from a Tim and Eric set and said, here, you want to be in a blockbuster movie?
Imagine that was Markiplier.
Oh my god!
I mean, I like the actor though. The actor there was fun.
He was so good, and then when they bring him in early on, you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be funny." Like, this guy will be funny enough for me to enjoy most of this movie. Another character who, what even happened to Doug? Doug just disappeared. You can't write in characters, give them a name, give them a place and a reason to be there, and just kill them off. Also, how did his aunt die and he doesn't get, nobody mentions it? She's a dead woman in his fucking living room?
I know, right? There's so many weird things about this movie. One thing I did like, though, is one thing you don't see in the games is like why the kids love the animatronics so much. Like you see them play with Abby, build a fort, which is really a wholesome. It was kind of a wholesome scene to see. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is why kids like actually connected with him. Where the adults, see it as really creepy. Like, hey, these are ghost children. You see, like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that was kind of what they were built for, to entertain the kids and be like a kid to play with them, that was a cool part of the movie.
Yeah, honestly, and you think that'd be a bad part of the movie because it strays so far from the
Yeah.
game, but ideas like that are actually interesting. I agree with you. That kept me entertained. Now there was a point in the beginning of the third act. I don't sleep during movies. I just don't. There's two movies I can think of that I slept through. Rogue One, and this isn't about Rogue One, but I fell asleep during that movie, and then I fell asleep during this. I fell asleep for about 5 minutes and woke up to Marissa looking at me and laughing at me because as soon as I woke up, the first thing I said was, "This is so fucking boring." And she's like, "I know." Like she's on her phone. Like she's like, "I know this is stupid." Like
I had Synth Boy sitting next to me the whole time making quirks and telling me how it differs from lore the entire time. So I was staying awake.
how many times did he give that speech? The William Afton speech.
Oh, he did that a lot. He did that like 17 times at least. One thing I was mentioning to you a little bit earlier is how I didn't like how they made the animatronics less scary by making them go from like undefeatable, like in the games. Like it's like the game's concept is you just have to hide and stay away from these things that are unstoppable, that are coming to get you. While in the movie, it turned into like a spy action movie where it's like, yeah, a taser takes him down, just a measly old taser that anyone can get at the store, takes down it made it the stakes and like just so much less. The stakes like were lowered after he took all four down with the taser. It was so stupid.
I mean that harkens back to the point that in the games you're always in the room, you're always like you're scared, you're just trying to survive. They could have given us like 20 to 30 minutes of him in the room, and it could have all led up to them doing stuff, walking around the restaurant, all that stuff. But instead we get about 5 minutes total of him in the room, and maybe even almost half from that one thug dude. And the thug dude did more stuff that could be closer to the game than he did. And it's like,
Yeah, and he was a security guard.
yeah.
He didn't watch the cams. He just fell asleep.
And this is from the writer of the guy who made the games. Like, how did he fuck that up that much? I will say, like, the animatronics were good. Josh Hutcherson was good. Matthew Lillard was good. The lady that played Max was good.
So good.
Yeah, and then the music was good. I really liked the music. They did good with that. They missed some stuff for the music, but
Or wasn't in it.
it wasn't in it.
Wasn't in it. Where was it?
And then the
It was in
line,
the trailer. You teased it.
having Matthew Lillard read the line to him like he does in the game, like was really cool. Where Steve like reads in the line.
I always come back.
Yeah, no, not that. The one where he's like, when he first gets to work and he plays the tape and he's like, "Hey, Mike," like, yeah, and he does the whole speech.
Kinda, well, it wasn't. It was
on the
actually,
phone,
like word for word, but it was like, yeah, it was the concept of it, like, oh yeah, he's phone guy, like that was like discovered like after like so much of like.
It was close.
Trying to debunk the game, they figured that out.
It was close enough where it had the same
that
feeling.
Was the reference.
Yeah, and
that was the reference. He was a phone guy. Yeah.
And he did great. I mean, Matthew Lillard absolutely shredded that. That I feel like he wasn't supposed to be in the movie as much. I feel like William Afton maybe wasn't even supposed to be in the movie, and then like, but they were like, we have to do something with Matthew Lillard because there's nothing in this movie. Like, he has to show up.
I like how they did show, even though it wasn't like the same as the games, but like the creation of Springtrap, which will, as they kind of hinted to like having a sequel, that like that's kind of setting up like Matthew Lillard's gonna come back in the yellow Bonnie suit and be really creepy and withered and as Springtrap and be like the main villain again. Which that would be really cool to see, and they kind of set that up in this movie, and we got to watch the spring locks
go
into Matthew Lillard, which was a really gruesome scene, which was like, that's, that just looked painful.
That is as close as it got.
We could only imagine from like, which we could only imagine in the little like, 2D animated or in the games, that it was like, okay, little blood spurts of like 2D pixelation, but it actually showed like the, clawing in, which was cool.
Probably the only gory part in the movie, yeah. So what do you give it?
Actually, there was the one gory part where I think it was when Josh like fell backwards, and there's like there was corpses in that room. Like those corpses were pretty withered.
I guess, but is that gore or more just creepy?
I don't know. And also on this fact of creepy, Five Nights at Freddy's was built on jump scares, and we had like one.
Yeah,
Like
and it
there
wasn't
weren't.
good.
Yeah, they should have had way more jump scares. I was like,
Well, what do you give it
whatever.
for a rating, Harry?
Rating, I kind of want to give it a 6 out of 10. Although we had a lot of things to point out about what was bad about it, it was still a really fun movie. Even the bad parts were just fun or entertaining, to say the least, made us laugh and giggle. So that's why I give it 6 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I wrote down after I watched it how I felt after I watched it, and I gave it a 4 out of 10. But I'd probably give it a 5. I mean, there are clips from the movie I'd like to watch again. I'd love a super cut of Doug. I would probably watch that at least every day for a week. Like, he was fucking hilarious. I'd love to see him do other stuff. So I got to give it a 5. Even as someone I know some of the lore, I played the first one a few times through. And I mean, I've been on the internet before, so I know the lore to some extent. It wasn't enough. It's a bad movie. It commits the cardinal sin of being boring, and it's yeah. All right, give us a send off, Harry. And it don't be a burp.
Well, thank you all for watching this new movie review channel. I don't know what it's called.
It's
but
just the
if you like
secondary
this
channel.
and want more content, it's called a secondary channel. If you want more, then subscribe because Dottie has more reviews coming through. Peace.
Maybe. Depends.
Maybe if you like it enough, you gotta like it.
Yeah, like put
Enjoy.
thumbs on it.
Put your thumbs on me.